Hi, my name is Sebastian Frierson, and I'm doing a final biographical speech on Martin Luther King Jr. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. This quote was written in the letter from Birmingham jail by Martin Luther King Jr. The meaning of this quote is that there is no peace if there's a continuous strife. Martin Luther King Jr. spent most of his life working for equal rights for everyone in the United States. In his work, he wrote many literatures. In Why Can't We Wait, he stated that the Birmingham campaign was the start of the civil rights movement. In the March on Washington, he said in his speech, Why Can't We Wait, that there should be equal rights for everyone and that racism should end completely. In the pinnacle of his career, he stated in Where Do We Go From Here, Chaos or Community, on how the civil rights movement should move on from here. He was raised in the South when he was young, and during his young adult to late adult years, he worked for equal rights. He worked on equal rights. His work was one of the key events that was needed for a better future. Martin Luther King Jr. is a solid inspiration to all modern civil rights activists. He was born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia on January 15th, 1929. He later then graduated from Boston University. He got married and settled down in Montgomery, Alabama. Despite settling down for a peaceful life, Martin Luther King Jr.'s family lived in a highly segregated city. He joined the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, and in 1957 he formed the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. In 1963, he helped lead one of the largest civil rights movement, the March on Washington. In that line of effort, he and other civil rights activists helped achieve the Civil Rights Act of 1964, finally giving rights to everyone in the United States, no matter what race, creed, or ethnicity you are. In his review of work, Martin Luther King Jr. helped advocate civil rights. He also influenced many Americans then and now. He was known to be one of the many civil rights leaders to promote nonviolent protests. Martin Luther King Jr. is a national icon of our time. Born and raised in the South, he worked for civil rights for everyone in the United States and to ensure that no one is excluded to who they are. Martin Luther King Jr.'s efforts is what made a change to the future. Martin Luther King Jr. is a respected figure and an inspiration to us all. And without his efforts to make a change, this world would have been in a worse state today. Thank you for listening to my speech.